everyone, I'm Denise.
And I'm Georgie.
And we're also known as the Happy Vegan Couple. We want to show you how we make broccoli sprouts. This is so easy, and it's an amazingly healthy thing to eat. Why? Because there's a beautiful compound in broccoli sprouts called sulforaphane, right? You may have heard about it with cruciferous vegetables. That's what's in cruciferous vegetables, and that's why we want to eat those every day, because of this powerful anti-cancer chemical that's in some of these vegetables. Now, broccoli sprouts, the amount of sulforaphane in there is way, way more. I think I read that it can be like hundreds of times more than what you would find in the mature broccoli. So that's why we take the time to make this. It isn't a bother because we're getting this great anti-cancer chemical for our bodies to hopefully take out those potential cancer cells, that we don't want to multiply. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to make this and how easy it is. And so the first thing is just to tell you, we buy these broccoli seeds, and we can buy them from Amazon or the Sprout House itself. And you see how little these little seeds are? That's what we're starting with. And Georgie's going to show you the procedure of how we do this. So go ahead, honey.
First I'll try not to spill them because they'll go everywhere. You'll be having broccoli seeds for a month trying to clean them up. First thing I've got my sprouting lid.
And we bought these actually from Amazon, I think, or some other place, but you're going to need something for your mason jar, either cheesecloth or a lid that's got these little holes in it.
Yeah, so anyway, that's my sprouting lid. I have a 4-cup mason jar, 2 cups of water. So first thing I'm going to do is take my tablespoon, get 2 tablespoons of these little seeds.
And this is how much we make each time with the 2 tablespoons.
You will get a full jar of broccoli sprouts out of this. The next thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and pour in the water. I'm going to let this sit for at least 2 hours. I'm going to go ahead and put this lid on here. As you can see, it's got a screen on top, and that's for draining it. So I'm going to let that sit aside for a couple hours and let them soak. This is the way I do it. There are everybody has their own techniques. I figure 2 hours is enough. It takes about 4 days.
Well, wait just a minute. So wait, honey. So after the 2 hours, you need to tell them what to do next. So we're just going to pretend. We're going to wait on this.
Okay.
We're just going to pretend now.
Okay. You want to do a close up?
Why don't you just tell them?
What I do after a couple hours, I just turn this over in the sink and let the water drain out of it.
We could just pretend this is the thing.
Okay. Now, once they've been soaking for a while, they'll swell up a little bit. So it won't, if you turn it upside down like that, it won't completely drain. So you want to put it at a tilt in the sink until all of that water gets out of there. And then when you put it
we could actually show that, like how you do that after you drain it. Or we can wait.
I've already drained it.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
So what you see, how I shook the seeds up onto the side. So what we'll do is I'll go over here to the side and I'll show you what I do with them once I've got to this point.
Okay, so I'm going to just change my camera a moment to show you how we lean that on our counter to drain it out. So just give me a moment as I try to change my view here. And let's try that. Now we want to get, let's see, I didn't quite do it right. Actually, let me just keep it on the split screen here for a moment because it'll be easier for me. Right, so I can just kind of show you. So this is how we do it.
This is 4 days of sprouting. Now, what I do is I put a paper towel, and like I said, you want to try to have the seeds up on the sides of the jar as much as you can, and then you just leave it like that. And you will rinse those 3 times a day for about 4 days, and you're going to have a jar full of sprouts like what we have here. Look at that.
Let's see. Let me go back to the white side because I'm having trouble just knowing for sure what I'm looking at here. Let me just go back. So again, this is what we already had in our fridge, right? And we're actually going to take that to a class we're teaching today and give people a sample. Let me see, get a sample of that. You want to pull a little bit out, Georgie, just so we can kind of see what that looks like. I see you guys can see our light in the background, but there we go. So that's kind of what you can see, how kind of airy it is, right? All that. And so let me just go back to the wide shot for a moment and see if I can get that here. Okay, so I just want them to hear one more time. So after we've drained it we've soaked it for a couple hours, right? We drained it. Then we put it over there to drain it out, right? And then how many times a day do we?
Three times a day, you're gonna rinse them and let the water out and then put them back over there. And that's all you have to do is rinse them. The first thing when you, the first 2 hours when you drain it, rinse them again with some fresh water and then put them over there to lean on the counter. But 3 times a day for about 4 days and you're gonna have sprouts galore.
Right, and then here's one thing I just want to mention about eating sprouts. So these are like so delicate, and that what I've heard from some of the doctors is that we really need to chew these really well if we really want to get the benefits of the sulforaphane. And so, you know, that's one reason, like, I don't just throw it with some of my other food, like, for example, on my salad or my oatmeal, because I'm afraid that, oh, it'll go with some other stuff and maybe I won't chew it enough because they're so delicate. So basically what we actually do in our house is every morning we eat like just a little couple tablespoons of this by itself, you know, with just in the mornings. And, you know, I chew it real well, hoping that I'm going to get that wonderful concentrated source of sulforaphane. Now, of course, you could throw it in any food you want, but the main point I'm trying to make is just try to remember to chew it real well. So you're not just like swallowing, you know, the seeds and the you know, the little sprouts without chewing. That's the main point. All right.
So the one thing, just to remind you, it's very important to drain all of the water out of it. That's why I put it at an angle, because once they start sprouting, these screens will be plugged up. And if you don't do it at an angle, it won't come out.
And you also want to make sure, I can't remember if Georgie said this, that you don't, when you put it on your counter, you want to try to have the seeds spread out through the jar. Yeah, you don't want them all at the head.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a good way to do it.
Yeah, you just shake your jar to get it in one side, and there you go.
And we've been doing this, you know, for quite a while. We eat this every day, and and maybe for us, like maybe 4 days, this jar of sprouts lasts us. Something like that.
4 or 5 days, depends on what we use them on and stuff. If you're just eating them in the morning like we do, at least 5 days.
So making sprouts is a really wonderful, healthy thing. There's all kinds of sprouts you can make. You can really get into it.
Mung beans, they're real simple. They only take a couple days and they're already sprouting.
But this is what we wanted to show you again because of the sulforaphane, because it's just so much more powerful and concentrated than eating our mature cruciferous vegetables. So that's our tip for you today. We hope you'll try it. Until next time, I'm Denise.
I'm Georgie.
And we're the Happy Vegan Couple trying to help you optimize your health with whole food, plant-based eating, right? Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Okay.